everyone, my name is Rosie and welcome back to my channel. So it is spooky season and that means we need to make a haunted collage. Well, I guess we don't have to, but we are going to. But before we do that, I kind of wanted to take a little trip down memory lane and share some of the past sort of haunted Halloween spooky collages I've made in the past. Maybe to get, a little inspiration from myself. Maybe we'll try to do something different than what I've done in the past, but I thought it might be fun just to look at a couple things. So years ago, one of the first series I did was this series of ladies that I took spiders and snakes and sort of wrapped them around their heads, coming out of their eyes and nose. This was a really fun series that I kind of loved the look of them all together. Around that same time, I also did this bat piece, a similar vein, but a little bit bigger. So I have these bats coming out of this woman's face, very creepy. And then I think a year later, I did this, I would say this is more of a paranormal movie poster type thing. I imagine the plot of this movie being sort of a house is being dragged to the underworld. And this is a fun piece. It's simple, but there's sort of, maybe could be more meaning behind it. I really like that one. And then we did a collage journal spread where I did these two pieces here. And I particularly love this bat family portrait. I took these two kids' bodies, took their heads off, put bats on them, and one of them is holding a skull in their hands, which I love. This piece just came together really well, and so that was a really fun one. And then right after that, I did this postcard scene where I made these tissue paper ghosts and put together this whole postcard scene that's really vintage looking, and then put these ghosts that overlay on the scene. This is a really fun one, pretty different than anything else I've made before. And so when I'm looking at what I've made in the past, I love everything, but I think what I haven't really done much of is some sort of monster. I've had characters, but the bat people, I would say maybe are a little bit more fun, a little bit cutesy, honestly, even though they're bat heads. But I think I would love to today create some sort of scary monster or have a monster be more of the focal point of our collage. That's just sort of what I'm brainstorming right now. And I think I have a book that might have some sort of monster in it that we can use. So let's jump into it. Let's see what we can make. Let's see if we can make a scary collage. So let's get into it. I went through a couple piles of images just to find some things to maybe get us started that we might want to use. I found a couple bones. Those are always fun to work with. There's a foot too, so maybe we'll use those. Also half a skull. This lady who's staring very intently. She is threatening. Also a couple bug things, a spider web, which might be a fun background. Couple creepy bugs that are very large that, are pretty creepy crawly. But then this is the book that I got kind of recently that I thought might have a monster we could use in it. So it's a collection of science fiction art, and that's why I think there might be some sort of maybe alien or monster or creature in here that we could use. Also, this book is like falling apart. Completely falling apart. I thought that maybe we could hunt through here and find, again, just some sort of creepy focal point that can be sort of a scary monster. Maybe it's an alien-like thing. I don't know. I haven't flipped through this really intently yet, but I think this might be a good place to find us a monster. And then also I have this cut and collage book that I reviewed in my reviewing a bunch of cut and collage books. And it's a treasury of bizarre and beautiful images. I think that this book has a lot of kind of gross images in it. There's some surgery pictures, muscle things, and some dental work, and again, surgery images inside the body. I don't think that I want to go this way with the collage, but I do have this book if we want to look through it and do something maybe a little bit more gross. I don't know if I want to do that though. But anyway, it's here. There's also bugs and beetles and snakes and things in this book too, so might come in handy. I first want to start looking through this and see if there is at all a monster that is inspiring. So let's take a look. A couple of these pages are stuck together, so I guess we'll just skip those. Alrighty, that head is creepy. This alien guy, also creepy. Maybe a dragon type thing. Does this fall under horror? Halloween? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe dragon is not the right vibe. Scary werewolf flying bat man. That maybe would be a good monster. That's terrifying. I love that head. We could take that and do fun things with that. Also, this werewolf collage, very cool. The art in this book is already very cool, and a lot of it's really surreal already. So I am kind of excited to take a part of this and put it in my own style and sort of see how I can take that and do something different with it. So it's kind of fun. Okay, yeah, this guy. I'm gonna pull this guy. I'm gonna pull a couple things I really liked. I love his head and his, red wings. I could kind of go without his body. I think we could do something a little bit more interesting than this with that. So that's a possibility. There are so many cool images and pieces of art in this book, but I think the thing I'm most inspired by is this sort of devil guy. And I think this has a lot of cool potential. So I'm gonna make a decision. We're gonna move forward with this guy. I kind of want to build out an entire creepy body for him. That I think will be really cool. So I gotta think a little bit more about how we're gonna do that, but I'm really inspired by him. So let's do something cool. I'm getting distracted by the background here. So I'm gonna start cutting all of this out because I'm gonna cut it out anyway. So we might as well just do it now. So I did find this bug body, which I think is the right size for him. And this is terrifying, but I do think I want to build out an entire body and have our monster be bigger than just this one little creature. But I mean, that does kind of work together. So what I ended up finding was a couple things. So I found some skeleton bone images, and I was thinking, even though this is a hip, I thought actually it might work as his shoulders, where his head can sort of rest onto, and we can tuck the wings behind what I'm gonna call the shoulders. And then we can find him different legs. I don't think these will work as legs, but we could find not these legs either, those are so small, but something to add as legs. And then I would love to find some big hairy bear arms or something. Would be really fun coming off the side. So I think we need to find some more body parts, but I think this could work. Also find some teeth. I don't know if we want to incorporate those. I still really like this spider web as maybe a background, but I also found a bunch of eyes, animal eyes, that maybe we could cut out and use as a background to our monster. Kind of terrifying. I found a couple of things that I think we're going in the right direction, but I just have to find a few more body parts to fill out our monster dude. So let's see if we can find some things. I think that will work as a torso. We just need to find some other things. Oh, this might be a fun background for our monster man. I mean, he's gonna be too big though. Too bad this sort of lava is kind of maybe his vibe. Oh well, find something else. I found a couple body parts in this book that I think we'll be able to add to our monster. The first one is this guy's legs. I like that he has really big black boots. I think that they might be the right size, so I'm looking at those feet. I did also think maybe we could take this statue's arms, and he's also has his arms wrapped around a snake. Those might work, so I'll keep them out. Then I also found this guy whose arms, one he's holding a sort of a Grim Reaper scythe thing, and then his other hand is up here. Now he is wearing a cloak, and I'm not sure exactly if his hands are the right size, but I do like that he's holding this scythe weapon. I might cut these out, this pair of arms out, and just see what it looks like, because it might work. The other arms I found are this guy cooking, which I think these might be the right size for our monster. And I was thinking his hands are sort of in positions where he could be holding weapons, so I could find a knife or something to put in his hands. But I do like that this one already comes with a weapon. So I'm gonna cut out some of our options and we'll see if any of them work, and hopefully one of them does. I'm worried they're gonna be small, but it's really hard to know until you cut everything out. And the proportions might be fine if they're not sort of human-like. I don't know, we'll just have to see. Cut him in half. Come on. Huh, that actually might work. I like that it kind of looks like he's running. Let's see what these arms are gonna look like. All right, let's see if this is going to work at all. This whole collage is kind of interesting because I've never tried to make something actually scary. I've really only everything I make is pretty much funny. So to try to make something that's actually scary is just very different for me. This is an interesting challenge. Interesting, okay. I need to find the perfect angle for this, but that might be okay. And I think I want the arm to go behind the shoulder. Now, does he look scary enough, or does he look like he's dancing? Because part of me thinks that he's dancing and not scary. Why does this always happen? I try to make a scary demon, and instead I'm making a demon that's doing a dance. Oh my goodness. I also wish that another part of the body had color in it. I would love to have, red boots or something instead of black. His wings and his head have a good amount of color to them, and I do feel like the black and white is not balancing out everything super well. If we somehow manage to get the eyeballs behind here, that would bring in some nice color. Maybe we can make this background work, the one that I liked from before that's not quite tall enough. Maybe if we cut the sky out around the moon and give us a new sky that's taller, we might be able to make this work. Let's just put him in here standing on this little island, because I think it might be interesting if we had some of the eyeballs floating up from the lava. That would maybe be a really cool look. Let's just see what he looks like in here. He's way too tall for this scene. Maybe if he had different legs and he was just standing there rather than running. Well, I wonder if I took the sky from this part. Oh, you can't see that. I wonder if I took the sky from over here. There's a second half of this image. If I took some of the sky from here and put that on top, maybe it's a similar color and you wouldn't be able to really tell. Let's cut it out and see what we think. Potentially, we might be able to use this sky on top, and maybe you won't be able to notice it so much, but maybe you do. What if we put it upside down? Is that more seamless? Actually, I think that might be more seamless, surprisingly. Okay, let's get our monster guy back in here. I also really like that the lava is red and his wings are red, and I feel like that color composition is really nice. So I'm kind of digging this background. I just think all the elements we have aren't quite right yet. So here's sort of what we have now. I really like everything except for the legs. I hate the legs. I don't think that they work. I think we can find something better. Something more that he's standing rather than running. I also really like this eyeball idea that I said before. If I have eyeballs floating up from the lava, so some of them will be peeking out of the lava and they'll be floating up into the sky. I kind of like that idea. And I also, again, really like the color story that's happening. I love the red in him and in the wings, how it complements with the lava. We just have to find the right legs. I think before we do that, I'm gonna cut out some of these eyeballs because I kind of want to see what that's gonna look like, because I'm really excited about that idea. So let's get some of these cut out and we'll find him new legs. And I'm feeling pretty good about this. Oh yeah, that's gonna be good. Let's get some of these eyeballs tucked into the scene. I think that will help the vision. This one is going to get tucked behind this rock. How's that? This one I want to be coming out of the river of lava. Oh yeah, that's good. To be honest, I'm not really loving these two eyeballs. I really like the ones with the vertical pupil instead of the round pupil. I might poke around and see if I can find any other eyeballs that are like this. This one doesn't bother me for some reason. We really need new legs. They're so bad. And I feel like I'm procrastinating that. So let's go find new legs. All right, I've cut out a couple more eyeballs that are all a lot smaller. So I was thinking we could have these be towards the top of the sky, and that might be good, so it looks like they're floating up into the sky, perhaps. So we'll throw those in there. Now, I also found a couple options for new legs. The first one is these hooves, which unfortunately there isn't a matching pair. They're all different, and I don't think they're quite big enough, but I did kind of like the look of this. I think it's pretty normal for demons to have hooves, I believe. So those might work. Also found this monkey's legs, which I actually think they're way too small, so those probably won't work. But I also found this T-Rex, whose entire bottom half I think is really interesting. The only thing I don't love about this is it's bright green, so I'm a little bit worried that the legs are gonna stand out so much because nothing else is really this bright green color in the entire piece. It might be the perfect size and sort of the stance I'm looking for, so it might be okay. And then the last one is this dinosaur who just has two straight feet. This pose is not as interesting to me as the T-Rex, but they're similar size. So I think this might be a good backup if the T-Rex, the green color, is way too off. Then we can look at something else, but let's get it cut out and see. Let's see if these legs are going to work, if the color and size is right. The only unfortunate thing is there's a little boy standing in the illustration, and he was blue, so now there's this little blue spot in the tail. I don't know if I'm going to keep the tail or try to cover up that at all. I'm not entirely sure. I also want to cut out the insides of this rib. Oh, this isn't ribs. Well, it's the hip area. I want to cut out these sections because we're going to be able to see through them. So I want to see what that's going to look like. So let me get these cut out. Oh, I kind of have to decide if we want to see green back there or we want to see the moon. I'm thinking the moon, but we'll make that decision in a little bit later. Interesting. I don't hate the green legs as much as I thought I was going to. They're not that bad. For some reason, I feel like they don't stand out that much. I do think I need to simplify the leg area a little bit, and unfortunately, I do think I have to cut the tail off, which is really annoying, but I think it will give us better definition of the legs. But I don't hate the color as much as I thought I was going to. I actually think it complements the red really well. You know what? I'm digging this. This is pretty cool. And here's our super spooky Halloween collage that we made today. I'm really surprised I was able to make such a scary collage and not just something super cute and funny like I normally make. So I'm really glad I pushed myself to make a scary monster today. I really love how this piece turned out. I hope you all have a safe and happy Halloween, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!